Alright, so I got PB for speedrunning landing on the moon yesterday. So before I start trying to go for another personal best today, I decided I'd probably record some kind of commentary for this, so I could have some kind of reference for how many times I fucked up. Because this is not a very good run. You can see that in the description of this video. Oh, look at me, advertising. You can see in the description that I admit it's not a very good run, because it's not. It's not good. It's good enough that I decided to try and publish it on speedrun.com and share it with my friends on Discord. It was good enough that I decided to do that, but it's still overall just not very good, especially when you consider the world record for landing on the moon is 36 seconds. So, got a lot of time to save. But this entire 56 part could have been shaved off if I was not terrible. I'm gonna skip through this beginning part because the point of that beginning part was so I could show off all the parts of the rocket. Because obviously I'm not going to show them off while I'm doing the speed run, because then it wouldn't be fast. It wouldn't be a speed run. I wouldn't be being very speedy. It's okay, so you can see that. Look at that part. Look at all those parts. I believe timing starts when the in-game timer starts counting up, which is when I first stage that first stage. That sounds so weird to say. When I stage the first stage, when I activate the first stage, that's when the in-game timer, you can see it in the top left just below the title of the video right there. That is the in-game timer, and it starts counting up when you activate the first stage, which I do there, and you will see the timer starts counting up. Activate physics warp there after I activate the first stage, specifically because when I did my very first attempt, where I crashed into the moon in 2 minutes and 48 seconds, if I'd managed to land, it would have been a lot slower than 2:56. So it wasn't a great pace, but I did crash into the moon faster than I landed on it. What a surprise. What am I talking about? That was my second attempt. My first attempt, I crashed into the launch pad when I put on 4 times time warp and then activated the first stage. For whatever reason, instead of going up, it hit the launch pad and exploded and crushed all my dreams. It did not crush all my dreams. You get the point, though. I'm now worried about that happening again, because when I started with 1 times time warp and then went to 4, it worked just fine for whatever reason. So now I'm worried that that's going to be a recurring thing if I start at 4 times time warp and then activate the first stage. I'm going to fall and crash in the launch pad, and it's going to suck, and I'm going to be sad. Not that sad, but sad. So I start with 1 times time warp and I go to 3, because I had tested it and 3 times time warp works. I don't know about 4 times time warp though, and I did not want to risk it, so I just went to 3 times. then, you know, I go, and I go, and I go, and then the first stage ends, and then I spend forever in the flight view. I spend way too long in the flight view, and also my reaction time to the rockets burning out was very slow. My reaction time just in general was very slow. Like, my reaction time just in general in this run was real bad. It was not good. So I stage it, but I forgot that because I had the decoupler for those 6 engines which surround the payload on the same stage that I had the rocket activation. I forgot that would activate the rocket. So I didn't press Z, which would have turned off the end. It wouldn't have turned off the engine, but it would be producing 0 thrust, which would have meant that, you know, when slow reaction time Joe, aka me, Joe is not my name, by the way, in case anyone's wondering that. I doubt anyone watching this video is wondering that, but, you know, just in case. So slow reaction time, me, doesn't turn off the engine in time, and I overshoot the moon. So I'm like, oh shit. I go to burn retrograde. So, turn around, I turn the ship around, start burning retrograde. And then I'm actually a bit relieved there, because I wasn't entirely sure if I would be able to get a collision course with just a retro burn. But I did. I did get it with a retro burn. But because of the fact that I, like, it's hard to explain. I did a quick burst and then, like, slowly changed it, because you can see the throttle is not at 0 like it was here. You can see the throttle was not at 0 there, so it's producing a small amount of thrust. That lost me so much time. It was so slow. It was so terrible. I don't know why I did that. I did know why I did that. I wanted to be precise. But, like, this is a speed run. You have to be fast and precise. You can't just be precise. So that lost me, like, a good 20 seconds of time. If you want to include the bad reaction times just in general while I staged from, like, here to here, from, like, there to there, that was probably like 25-30 seconds in general. I could have got like around a 2 minutes 30-second time, which was what I was aiming for if I didn't suck. So anyway, I time warp through, I try and find the moon. It was good that I managed to find it before I ended the time warp, because then I would have just been frantically looking around at 1 times time warp, which would have lost me a lot of time. Speaking of losing a lot of time, let's talk about this moon landing. This moon landing is so terrible. It sucks so much. Just ass. It's so bad. It's so not good. This moon landing is terrible. It's so bad. Like, why did I not do 4 times time warp there? Oh my god. Oh, this sucks. It's so slow. It's so unbelievably slow. You need to suicide burn electric pants. You can't just burn to a very slow speed a billion times. You have to suicide burn, because that's the fastest way of decelerating. You have to do a suicide burn. Which is basically when you go really, like, as close to the ground as you think you can get, and then you start burning and then you turn on the engine at full throttle, and you keep it there for a long time. So you slow down pretty quickly, which would have saved me so much time over this shit ass Moon landing, it's so bad. Like, the moon landing goes from around here when I first slow down again after changing the rocket's orientation. So like around 213 to like 333, 334, which is like a minute and 40 seconds. So if I was much less terrible at the moon landing, I probably could have gotten this below 2 minutes, which is just like, oh my god. Oh, that sucks. At least I'm not in last place though. At least I'm not in last place though. There are 2 people on the speedrun.com leaderboard for moon landing in sandbox mode that are slower than me. It was an 8:16 and I think a 4:32 or 4:33. I don't remember the exact time for the 4-minute one, but I know it's like a 4 minutes 30 something. So they're both slower than my 2:56, which is great. So overall, lessons learned: stage faster. Also have good reaction times. Don't just sit there and be like, "Duh." And also suicide burn, and also be much more generous with time warp, and don't just constantly slow down to 1 times time warp, because that sucks and it's slow. Yeah. I hope this commentary was, like, somewhat entertaining to watch, or was somewhat informative, or something, I guess. So yeah, that's about it, really.